A quick hands-on and first look with the Huawei Nova 7 Pro 5G released last night in China, and actually a lot of upgrades from the Nova 6 series, at least in this Pro version. So one of those big changes is the curved display, 6.57 inches, full HD resolution. But you've got these curves which we haven't seen on mid-range Huawei phones, certainly in the Nova series. Really good design all around, small bezels, OLED display, just what we want. You've got this cutout in the top left-hand corner. It is a dual cutout, but I think two useful lenses in there. You have the main, which is a 32 megapixel camera, and then you do get an ultra wide as well at 8 megapixels. You can also record 4K video off that main lens on the selfie camera too on the Nova 7 Pro. There's no high refresh rates on this phone or in any of the Nova 7 series, no 90Hz here. Huawei are keeping 90Hz for the P40 series, so you've got a 60Hz refresh rate panel. The Honor 30 Pro Plus, the sister brand from Honor, does actually use a 90Hz display, but in the Huawei series of phones, they keep that for the P40 series. I just got hands on with the blue version here. I think it's a really nice colorway. It's shiny and you actually get this really cool effect that is actually around the camera. It looks like there's a shooting star or something like that just exploding from under the camera, and it's fixed in there. So yeah, really nice lighting effect from the camera unit. Huawei phones are all about the cameras, so let's go through it. You've got a 64 megapixel main image sensor, and you do get a periscope lens on this phone, which is really good for a mid-range phone. Huawei have moved that periscope lens from the P30 Pro into the Nova 7 Pro, so a really good thing. It's a 5x optical zoom, and it does have optical image stabilization as well. You get an 8 megapixel ultra wide too, and a macro sensor. So you've got three really useful lenses. Macro isn't too useful for me, but hey, it's there anyway. You can record 4K video off the main camera, of course, and they give you 960 frames a second slow-mo on here as well. Huawei are putting a new chipset in this phone. It's called the Kirin 985. So last year's flagship was the 980. This year's flagship is the 990. So the 985 is a 980 chipset that has been overclocked, so the performance has been increased a little bit to give some better performance from the 980. So that's what you got in here, the Kirin 985. The Nova 7 Pro actually feels really light. It is considerably lighter than a lot of other phones that I've been using recently. Definitely a light phone, and one of the reasons for that is the smaller battery. We have a 4000 milliamp hour battery in this phone. That seems significantly smaller than a lot of other phones coming out right now, a lot of flagships that have 4500 or above batteries. Huawei have had 5G in their phones for a really long time now, more than a year, and so they know what they're doing when it comes to 5G and the chipsets and the power usage. So they have only put a 4000 milliamp hour battery in this phone, thinking that that is plenty for this phone. You do get 40-watt charging as well in this phone, really quick, and I assume it is more or less the same as you get in the P40, which is very quick too, amongst the fastest. So yeah, a good spec for the Nova 7 Pro. Is this phone going to be available outside of China in other markets? Still unsure. It is going to have Huawei mobile services on there, no Google services as yet. All in all though, the Nova series is a really popular series from Huawei, and those camera specs, 50x zoom, 5x optical zoom, good megapixels on the main camera, ultra-wide camera. There's a lot to like in this phone, including that OLED display. Really good phone, not sure about availability though. But anyway, as always, let me know what you think in the comments about this phone, the design, the cameras, the screen, and everything. Subscribe for all the latest tech news and videos. That's it for now. I'll see you in the next one.